Here we go. All right, everyone, let's come up to standing. Let's get ourselves. It's so nice to be on a round mat and not have to be doing it half yoga on the floor. All right, tiptoes and heels. Here we go. So we're just getting into a nice rhythm. Just allowing that flow to come in. It can feel a bit jerky this sometimes when you first start doing it. If we just feel into it, feel the floor beneath and just feel that roll from front to back. It all starts to smooth and ease out. That's what it felt like when I was doing this at the airport. It was really, really jerky. It's like my body couldn't quite believe that I was back on the ground again. And we're looking out for that sense of soreness. And then we'll just bring in that moment when we feel like we need to bring it all to stillness. Just feel the feet spread. Take a breath in. And as we breathe out, just letting the feet spread across the ground, just feeling the heels spread, the ball of the feet relax into the floor. And just really, really bringing that in. Now we're going to just do a quick feet, hands and face before we do the sun salutation. And then we're going to do a longer version of each. So just rubbing the hands or massaging the hands, whatever you prefer, just to get them online. We're going to really work on the getting things online part of the feet, hands and face today. So pressing at the center, whatever you usually do. So we'll take it to the next level in a bit. Lovely, and then we just bring the hands. And again, we're just going to take a breath, feel the hands and feel the feet. Hopefully at the same time. Mine are really buzzing because I've been doing this since Thursday, sorry. And then we're going to do a quick face. Okay, so nice gentle stroke. And again, we'll be doing all of these again. And then across and flick, across and flick, across and flick. I'm just starting to watch that jaw settle down and relax a little bit. So we've got that moment that the nervous system just loves, you know, where it goes, oh, that's what you're doing, that's nice. And you feel your feet, your hands, and your face all at the same time. Taking a breath. Lovely, and let's just bring the hands into position. So feeling where the hands are, feeling where the feet are, relaxing that jaw, especially as you look up and back, breathing in, lengthening. And then we're going to forward bend. Just letting the hands slide down, tucking the chin in, letting the head go, especially the back of the neck. Just relax that back of the neck a little. Breathing in, looking up, flattening the back, and as you breathe out, breastbone first. Let's bring the leg back a little, drop the knee, and we're going to lean in. Feel the hands here, push the floor away from you, and allow that lengthening to happen. It can feel a bit rocky to start with, and then it's going to just smooth itself up. Once you've got that smoothness, engage that core, so you're nice and stable, breathing in, reaching up whilst just sinking down. Good, and of course you can just stay here, especially if it's, you know, hurting the shoulders. You can just push on this front leg or bring the hands back down and push the floor again to get that extra bit of release there. And we'll bring the hands down. Plank pose. They're designed to really get the heart going, this one. Leaning over those wrists, feeling that rose arch really working hard, feeling the golden arch, feeling them unite at the belly button, especially as you breathe out. And once you get that heart rate going, then drop down. Relax, bring the palms together, forehead, and ready for the bottom roll. The Again, it might start a little bit out of time, not very easy or fluent, but quite quickly as you get into the rhythm, especially, to find that song or count or rhyme, whatever it is, and just allow a gentle rhythm to slip in there. And then we'll just bring it when we feel a response. So don't just listen to me and go, oh, Veronica said so. Even if I've said so and it hasn't happened yet, wait until you get your own response. So, deeper breath, a yawn, whatever it is, and then bring it to stillness. It's so important that you wait for that moment, because that's when the nervous system has decided it's done the job. Before then, if you don't get a response, it hasn't finished yet. So feel those legs become heavy and relax, and then we'll bring the hands around. We're going to breathe in, look up the back, lengthening the spine as you breathe in, and then keeping the hands there, sitting back into our puppy pose, and feeling that sense of reaching out. So creating space in the wrist, elbows and shoulders, that upper back, nice and gentle, especially if it's hurting a little bit. And see if you can give it a tiny rock. Now, you might not want to move it if there's a little bit of pain, but you could imagine that you're moving it and giving it a rock instead. And again, kind of waiting for that response. It's quite quick when we're stretching and doing reflex moves, so then we're just going to relax back into it again and feel what happens in the body. And then we can come up onto hands and knees. Using the hands here, we're going to pull into an S shape and push into a C shape. Now, this is also a reflex move, especially with the pull. And again, it might feel a bit rough to start with, a bit disjointed, a bit jerky. And we want to be doing this until it starts to feel smooth again, till you feel flow, like a wave from the tail all the way up to the neck and back. And once you've got that wave, we can bring our spine to a slight S shape, tuck the toes under, and as we push up into downward dog, again, just checking out how it feels. You're reaching with the hands, you're letting go with the heels, and we're going to try and see if we can just move that spine a little bit into S to C. Again, it might start a bit jerky, a bit stiff. When we're trying to get into this tiny little rock that's nice and smooth. Might not happen straight away. Arms might give in before you have a chance to finish, but it's worth a try. And then afterwards, reaching a little bit. Breathing. Creating space with the breath in the spine. And then when we've had enough of that, it'll be the same leg that went back that comes forward. And then we're reaching in, leaning in. Feeling that lean, feeling the push with the floor, with the hands to give that groin some time. When it's released a little bit, coming up, breathing in, reaching up. So you're dropping down and reaching up at the same time, really opening out that groin as much as possible. Helps again when you've got the hands back on the floor. A nice little release. And then this back leg coming forward. So it's a forward bend, letting the head go. Relaxing the jaw. This time we're going to grab hold of the elbows And triangle as much as possible. That means engaging the core a little bit. And then giving ourselves a little rock, that upper body. Just the smallest rock. And again, if this is a little bit painful, you can just imagine it. And then I'm going to breathe in and look up. When we're done, coming down, breastbone first. Tuck the chin in, release. And then when we're ready to come up, just gently uncurling. Nice and slowly. Feet on the floor, breathing in, reaching up, opening out. Creating that space in the spine with the breath. Nice and grounded with the feet. Bring the hands together. Let's draw this line down the center of the body. Finding the thumb there, the heart space, just feeling the hands. And if you need to draw this line, you can. We're going to feel the feet either side of the line, the hands on the line, and the jaw relaxing into the line. Just have this moment to really center. So bring your awareness all back to the central line. Feel the feet, hands, and face distributed around it. And let all the thoughts and everything else that's going on around you just gently slip away as this becomes the most important part of your focus. Feet, hands, and face in the line. It just takes a little moment. It's interesting to feel how different centering and grounding is. So grounding seems to be a lot easier for me to do. Some people find it the other way around. So we're in pyramid pose. So we're going to feel the contact between the feet and the hands here. We're going to mentally draw this line up through the leg to create a line of contact. And then I'm going to draw another line from the hands to the shoulders and up to the ears. And again, create that line of contact. Keep that line of contact there as you breathe in. And just rotate to look over the shoulder. Over to one side, back to the middle. And again, same side, 3 times. Keeping your awareness in those lines of contact. Try not to lose it. So can you keep that attention there? Foot to hand, hand to shoulder, shoulder to neck. As you come the other way. Do 3 times, and we're going to come back to center. And just really notice that heart center a little bit more open. And then come up standing and just feel the feet, the hands and the face. And just a really nice grounding, easy grounding exercise. Just to start to feel those 3. But we're going to go into a bit more depth with those today. Okay, so we'll start with another exercise, slightly deeper exercise for the feet. So this is the funny walk where I'm walking on the heels. So I can just sort of see this, feel this pressure through my heel. Once that gets too much, I'm going to come onto the balls of the feet. And the balls of the feet are much more used to being walked on. So don't necessarily wait until they feel it because it might take ages. The edges of the feet though, they notice it a lot. And again, get a bit too much after a while. And then turning the feet in, not knees, turning the feet in, feeling again the pressure through the big toe and part of the arch here, so that when we come to stand, we're like, oh yes, I can really feel the feet. And one of the things I want to do here is try to relax the toes. Okay, and before we go to sitting and do a bit more on the feet, let's just practice a little bit of balance. So we're going to press the big toe and the little toe down. You can see you probably can't actually because it's a bit far away, but I'm playing with my toes here. I'm lifting my big toe up and down, and I'm lifting my little toe up and down as well. So as my big toe goes up, my little toe goes down. As the big toe goes down, the little toe comes up, and I'm just getting this sort of side flap movement in my feet as I do it. And I'm rolling through the ball of the foot. This is actually a really good massage for feet, self-massage for feet. And you roll through from side to side. Feels good to do. And then when you stop, you can sort of really become aware of the big toe and the little toe there at the front of your rectangle, thinking of the back two bits of the rectangle here, and then just working out your weight distribution. So work forwards and back, side to side, and try and find the center point. So if you think of it as a cross, when you go side to side, you're drawing one line. When you go forward and back, you're drawing another line. And just try and think, okay, where do those lines cross? They're quite thick lines, I guess. And then planting yourself right in the middle. Bend the knees slightly. Let the bottom sink and keep that center. Reaching up with the hands. So we're in chair pose here. And as you keep that center, let's circle the tail. But keep trying to keep, obviously there's a bit of movement in the feet, but try to keep that sense of being really centered in the feet as you go. So it's just the tail that's moving the most. And then the other way. And then we're reaching up and sitting back down just one final time when we've done. And so when we come up, you're like, oh, okay, really starting to become much more aware of the feet in position. Let's take the weight over to the side slightly. Now, how high up you lift your leg is up to you. You might just lift it a tiny bit, a whole lot, or even straight. So, but more important is what are you doing with the leg? So I can see here that my core has not engaged. Why? Because my hip has rolled all the way over to the side. I'm exaggerating, it's not quite that bad, but it's rolled a bit. So I'm going to stop balancing for a moment, push that big toe into the ground, the little toe there to balance, feel the core engaged. I'm picking up my marble, and now when I lift, there's no hip movement, and I'm balancing away. And of course, if you want to have a full leg stretch, you can. Well, if that loses your balance, stay here. It's all about balance today. There'll be plenty of opportunities to stretch in a bit. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side. So as I lean over, immediately, especially on this side, my hip wants to just go right out. So I've got to engage this core, really feel it hold me straight through that inner arch, the arch of the foot, up through the golden arch inside the thigh, and then we hold here. Or we want to stretch here. Trying to keep the balance there. It's quite hard. Balances are so great for getting your foot awareness. Whew. Lovely. So as you come back, are you standing on that cross again? All right. Okay, let's sit down briefly. We're going to come back to standing up in a bit to do a bit more leg work. But first, I want to just give the feet a really, just like the hands, I've worked out a really good quick massage for the feet to wake them up. And that starts with creating a U shape with your thumb and first finger, bringing it around the heel and pressing quite hard there. There's a couple of reflexology points there, I think, that really wake up your heel here. And then the next one, again, like the hand, is to find the reflex point. It's just below the ball of the foot here, in the center of the foot, and press that. And with the feet, just like the hands, we're going to press the tips, but I'm going to dangle my foot off that press so that there's a bit of space created. And I can even wiggle my toe from side to side just to create a bit of space in the joint. So I'm dangling from the hold, from the pinch, and wiggling each toe in place. And then when I stop and just bring the foot down, I can really feel the difference from just that in both feet. Like this one's just like, ah, I'm alive. So let's try the other side. Good press around the bottom of the heel there. A good press into the ball, to the center of the reflex point. A good press of the toe and a dangle and a wiggle. Dangle and a wiggle, just creating when I've been hanging around with my parents and my parents' friends and noticing feet as you get older, whew, so stiff. It's like they don't move. So that's just inspired me to get a little bit of wiggle on with the toes. And it's a great way of waking them up as well. All right, so both feet are on the ground, feeling a little bit. And now I can feel my toes relax more. So relaxing toes is a really good trigger for the FPR reflex, for the letting go of tension in the legs. So let's bring this up a little bit further. So now I'm massaging from the heel up towards the back of my calf. Getting this gland here to release some of its stored cortisol. And we're going to do both of them before we have a stretch. And we're going to have an immediate stretch on the floor before we stand back up. Okay, so both feet are on the ground. We're pulling back here. Just pulling the toes back towards you. If you can't reach, that's all you can do. But if you can reach your toes, pull them back and feel that back of the leg that we've just warmed up and stimulated there. Stretch into the calf. And just give that a moment. And I'm trying to pull my toes back. And as I pull them back, I'm also trying to create a bit of space away from the foot. So like I'm trying to lift the toes slightly off the foot as I pull back. Check your foot positioning. I had mine slightly in. So I'm just rotating them around so that they have nice 90-degree angles. Lovely. It just ensures that any cortisol that we did release then will definitely be stretched out and not go any further. As you stop, just before we stand up, just notice how your feet are feeling. Feel the softness in the toes and the warmth in the back of the heel. And that then allows the whole of the foot and ankle area to begin to feel much more relaxed. And try and remember what that feels like as we come back up to standing. When you stand, don't normally go up and down, but footwork, we do want to do a little bit of everything. Try to recreate that softness in your feet. And be very aware, though, that it's easy when we relax to go, oh, I can let go of my arches and my knees knock in. So even though the rest of the feet are relaxed, there's still a slight lift in the arch. Even if it's an imaginary one where you feel like you're drawing up water through the arch, let the rest of the feet be soft, but make sure that that arch is actually actively engaged. All right, we'll take our stretching a little bit further. So we're going to take a step forward. Love this one. It's one of my favorites, so it's become one of my favorites. This back foot is going back as far as I can, but I've got it on the ball of the foot. I'm going to drop the heel towards the ground. And as I do that, I'm bending the knee forwards and getting this really wonderful calf stretch. Relax the legs. And now go back to the toes and soften them. Make sure that arch is still working. When you come out of that, it's quite nice to see if you can circle the ankle just once or twice, and then go back down, do it again. It kind of shows you the importance of the ankle joint there, letting go of the feet. Other side. Heel goes down. Knee goes forward. You kind of wait for it, wait for that feeling of relaxation from the foot, the toes, to come into that muscle, that massage that we gave the back of the heel, all contributing to that letting go feeling. And when you come out, just give that ankle just the tiniest little circle, a couple of them, and then do it one more time. You see, it releases something doing those circles. And now when we come up to standing, what we find is that that feeling that we had in the feet is creeping up. Okay, so it's now more of the leg is joining in with it. And of course we want the whole of the leg right up to the hip and even into the back to join in with this. So let's do a little bit more for the back of the legs. Let's start with the forward bend with the knees bent. Let the head go. And then start to straighten out your legs a little bit. To feel the stretch now come up into the back of the hamstrings. Once you've got the stretch there, then remember your toes, relax them and let that relaxing feeling in the feet, kind of like a wave, sweep up the back of the legs to get that patterning of release into the hamstrings. They might not release, but at least you feel like they might one day. And of course, this feeling of release, those of you who know, have felt it, it can come all the way up the spine to the back of the neck. Don't forget to relax the jaw. Lovely, and we're just going to uncurl from there when we're done. And just again, just tune in, feet releasing into the floor, sinking more and more. That feeling of wet sand or rooting, and more of the leg taking part. Just a quick thigh stretch. Again, you don't have to do this as a balance. If you don't want to, you could hold on to something. Or you could do the full dancer. We're pushing in the foot. But this leg is relaxed. The leg in your hand is relaxed. You're letting it go as you stretch it. And what this is giving us, this is really relaxed legs out of the side. We've done most of what we need to do here in the leg area, apart from the psoas, that's coming next. So both sides, stretching out those thighs. And then as we bring both legs together, just again, notice how that feeling from the feet has crept nearly all the way up now. We're in the hips so far. And we've got this sense of those roots aren't just growing from the feet now, they're growing right from the pelvis all the way down, rooting down. And don't forget that, roots don't just grow downwards, they also draw up nutrients, right? So we can sort of feel that there's a two-way relationship between that rooting down feeling and then the arch that pulls up through the golden center here into the core a little bit. All right, let's come into triangle pose. Put the legs nice and wide. Again, when you're here, just check your weight distribution, especially in this one. It's really easy to be too far back on your heels. If it's too much for you, you can start this off with the knees slightly bent as you come into the forward bend. It's less strenuous on the body. Bringing the hands wherever you can reach. Now, if you can't reach the floor, I would suggest you had a block or a book or something to put your hands on. Just because we want you to be able to relax into this. And if you're worrying about your weight and your balance, you won't be able to. So immediately you're here, start to feel the feet relax. Those toes, the legs letting go into the floor. We can start to pull slightly with the hands to create an S shape. And then push to create a C shape. Now, especially as you're pushing through the feet, just make sure that you're right in the center of your cross. Pull. And push. So this is a proper S shape, as best as you can do. But it's going to then convert itself very slowly into more of a rock. So you're going to start to rock that breastbone forward and back. But still maintain those feet in the center. Don't lean forward, don't lean back. Once that's loosened a little bit, we're going to come down fully into the stretch now as we start to do the psoas. So this is the last muscle that we haven't really done for the legs. Let's see if we can spread that feeling all the way through the feet and legs into the psoas to allow it to release. Let the head go, relax the jaw. Check your weight distribution again. Are you too far forward, too far back? Notice what a difference it makes when you do adjust. The legs can let go that little bit more. Engage your core, you get a bit more out of it. And we're going to transition from here, just bring the feet together. So feet working their way in, heel toe, however you can manage it until they're parallel. We're back in a forward bend. Notice the difference here. The whole of the leg able to stretch, the toes relaxed, letting go, engaging the core. And then we're going to reach forward. This is a transitional move, we're going to do downward dog just because we can. We can do one leg at a time, so bend one knee. And then the other. And then both. And then you can drop down and just have a little rest in child pose. And even in child pose with the hands by the feet, we can feel that those legs are just soft and releasing. I can feel the soles of my feet really quite brightly. Sometimes I do this so much that the feet start to feel a bit itchy, like I've woken them up so much. They just want to tell me how awake they are. Okay, lovely. Oh, all right, so we've taken quite a while doing the feet and legs, and that's because I know that we need to, some of us more than others. So we're going to just quickly come through and do some hands, okay? So stretch and squeeze. Really good if you've got any kind of stiffness in the joints, okay? That's one. We're going to do very similar to what we did with the feet, okay? Next is to press through this heel of the hand here. So I've got 4 fingers and I'm pressing into the heel of the hand, just like we did with the feet, but obviously it's on this side because it's stronger. Then we'll do both hands. Let's do the other side as well. And then we'll come to do the palm. So I'm pressing with my thumb and squeezing. Again, both sides. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the thumb. So I'm going to press and wiggle each finger. Press and wiggle. And again, as I'm wiggling, I'm creating space. I'm pulling slightly. Just really trying not, this wakes up obviously the whole hand, but it also allows you to, to healthily create some movement in the joints. So they're only little wiggles. Lovely. And again, as we bring the hands to the lap, just notice how they feel. And of course, let's have that moment where we feel the feet and the hands at the same time. And like before, we're going to try and bring this feeling up from the hands into the arms itself. So coming up into hands and knees. I'm going to turn my hand. Now, there's 2 ways of doing this. This is the sort of harder way where I turn my hands around and I sit back and stretch out this. But if that is too much for you, you can do it just with the hands. So you grab hold of your 4 fingers, you straighten the arm and you pull the fingers back. Okay, so that's another way of doing it, which is a little bit easier. And either way, even in this position, we're trying to see, like, can I relax my hands? Have I got my weight distribution right? They're on the floor after all the hands. Can I feel the whole of the hands equally on the floor? Doing that one. And relax them. Relax the fingers. Let go of the thumbs. Lovely. If you're doing it with your hands, after a while, you want to do the thumb a little bit as well. Okay, so the thumb has to be done separately. You pull it back. You can circle the wrists. And we need to go the other way. Okay, so counter pose. Thumb inside, the hand. Curl the fingers around, curl the hand around, and then use the other hand to sort of push it slightly in towards the wrist. And you're going to get a stretch across the top here. And then the other way, thumb, fingers, and push. Drop the elbow, that helps a lot. Get a stronger stretch. And with the wrist, it's quite nice as well to shake them afterwards. And hopefully just to feel that the hands here, just like the feet, are starting to radiate the relaxation, the stretch up into the elbow. Now, of course, to stretch this part of the arm doesn't involve the hand very much. It's actually much more shoulders. Yeah, so we're not going to do too much of shoulders because I want to get on, make sure that we have time to do the face a little bit more because that has more to do with shoulders. But let's just do one stretch here. I'm going to interlace my fingers, roll the shoulders back, lift the hands slightly off the back. And in this, I'm going to try and do my best to relax my hands, to feel that warmth from the hands and wrists travel up through the arms into the upper arms and shoulders. And at the same time I'm doing that, I'm also thinking, oh, orangutan arms, let the arms go. And then release. And hopefully with that, we've got the hands really bright, the wrists, the lower arms, and the upper arms. Not all of the upper arm, but some of it. This is another really good one. So the eagle pose. I'm not very good at doing this one, especially after I've been swimming every day. When I go swimming every day, my shoulders get really tight, so I'm worse than ever at doing this. But worth having a quick go in whatever way you can do it to get that stretch. Down the arm, releasing the arms again, just feeling that connection. Can I connect the feeling in my hands to my lower arms to my upper arm and shoulders? And of course, the final one. I'm not sure I'd be able to do this if I had a trapped nerve. To see how it feels. So I'm just trying to grab hold here. Obviously, I can't reach, so I'm kind of included these in class, even though they're actually not in the program. And we're running late because I know they're needed. So to see how it is, even if it's just stretching the upper arm. But the most important feeling, when you have got sort of problems in the shoulders, is to have that sense of release come in. And we're going to extend that release now into the neck. Okay, so this is the jaw and neck stuff. So when we do this pressure stuff that we sometimes do, where we press here the hand into the back of the neck, where this hand is, there's a couple of points there that are really important that we're going to work with today, which help the shoulders release. So just see as you push in the jaw into the hand for a count of 3, 1, 2, 3, and release. 1, 2, 3, and release. 1, 2, 3, and release. And then we come up here. So it's slightly different to before. I'm doing the same move with my hand and pressing the top jaw into the hand. Feels a bit more obvious where I'm pushing into. 3 times. Obviously, you can do this one. You can't push as hard. That's why it's quite nice to do it the other way. And then as you let go, after that 3rd time, and you relax the jaw, just notice that it's not just stopping here. That you can feel something in the back of the head here, the nape of the neck, where the jaw releases from. It's part from where it releases from. And it's a little bit more obvious, that one, when we do the tapping. So when we do this tap here, where we start and we come down to the chin and we come back to the top lip and then to the nose, and then we come to the temple and we come over to the brow and back, and then we come to the brow, we turn the fingers around. We're going over the top, the hairline here. Now, when we come to the nape of the neck and we separate, at that point you can feel this joint we've just been pressing into. Bring that down behind the ear, and it just does something as it comes back to the jaw to release that jaw again. Let's do it again. Chin, top lip, nose, temple, brow, back. Back to the center, over the top, center parting, all the way up the back of the head. And as you come back, tap for a tiny bit longer where you've separated there, just to bring more awareness to it. And then as you come down and around the ear, just notice how the jaw releases even more. One more. Chin, mouth, nose, temple, over the top, back, round, a little extra tap there at the base, back up. Okay, now this time just close your eyes for a moment. We've stimulated quite a lot there. Relax the jaw and see if you can feel that relaxation go right through the throat, all the way into those joints that we just stimulated to release. So we're starting to see that there's a real connection there for the mouth reflex itself. Okay. So I want to do a bit of neck work. This will also be quite helpful for sort of those frozen shoulders, that kind of tension that's caused by that response. So let's get this bit to relax, that bit we've just tapped. We're relaxing our shoulders, we're relaxing the jaw, we're letting it go. And then we're just going to polish. Keeping that sense of release all the way down. Now that feels quite easy to do when it's in the top. But if we start to bring it down, to bring the chin towards the chest, we can really feel those 2 points that I was talking about, needing to release or relax that jaw even more. Really imagine that you're dribbling everywhere. Stay with that rocking at those 2 points at the nape of the neck for as long as you need to. Feel how it's affecting other parts of the shoulders and the upper back. And then we're going to bring it back up to the top. Can look up slightly. And again, just make sure that those 2 points in the nape of the neck are relaxing. Let go of the jaw. And then when you bring it back to the center, just a couple of rocks here. And then just preparing yourself for when you stop, because when you stop, lots is going to happen. So let the jaw relax, let the nape of the neck go. Feel that relaxation. It's like before, it's spreading now down the neck into the shoulders and into the upper back. Lovely. Now, when you've got pain in this area, then it's all of this is much better off done lying down. So let's lie down, because having the head supported is going to really help. And especially sort of for shoulder issues, you know, you can be rocking here and going, oh, I'm not feeling really very much. But the minute you bring your arm up and over, and they might not even go on the floor, you might need to put them on a cushion or something, you go, oh, that's a completely different stretch. And you can sort of see how this whole area really affects that pinchy area beneath the shoulder blade. So just accommodate your arms, you know, however you can. If you want a blanket, by all means use one. I just want you to see how, like, just like the feet feeding in the relaxation to the legs and the hands feeding their relaxation into the arms, releasing the mouth reflex here into the nape of the neck feeds into being able to let go of quite a lot of tension in the spine. So you might feel it initially that the upper back is tense and holding on, and as then that softens as you rock a bit more, it goes right down to the base of the spine. bring that to stillness when it feels right and try and relax your arms. Another way of doing this is a little bit easier, especially if you want to work more on the spine and on the shoulders, is to cup your head in your hands, tuck the chin in, and using the hands, again, polish that top of the flagpole. And the more you relax your jaw and that nape of the neck, now just like with the fingers, when we were pulling and creating space in the neck, now you don't want to do this a lot, but just a little bit, create some space in that neck joint where the head and the neck meet. So there's a slight lift as well as a little wiggle. Head supported. As you come back, you can either keep rocking it as you bring it to the floor, or you can just really focus on the weight of your head and using only your hands to carry it as you bring the head back onto the floor. Release the arms. Should be feeling quite orangutan now. Have a moment to feel your feet, your hands, and your face. Relax the jaw. We feel that deep shift in the nervous system as it comes into that calm, secure, safe mode. And then if you want to, you can look over the shoulder. Just check as you look over the shoulder. You can obviously use this hand here to create a little bit more of a stretch down the opposite side. Same feeling there. Now we can bring in the hand. So the relaxation in the hand of that arm that you're stretching, sending up signals of release, and then the jaw releasing, and the nape of the neck releasing and sending down signals of release, the whole arm. And then we'll roll through to the other side to do the same. It's a really nice routine, especially if you regularly get a bit of neck tension or crook neck. That's really, you could snip that out of this class and just do that, and it would be really good. All right, we need to move on because the time is ticking on. So let's bring the soles of the feet onto the floor, and we're going to gently come up into our bridge. Now, as you come into a bridge, be aware of your feet. You can either turn the hands around and be aware of the hands pushing into the floor. As you come in, to be aware of the mouth, release the jaw. So this is the part of the class where we're putting everything together. Feet, hands, and face in our awareness all at the same time. If you've got a stiff neck and you want to do a bit more, you could rock here and just try and release a little bit for a second. If you want to do the shoulders, now this one is so good for that trapped nerve feeling. You bring your arms up and over and rest them on the floor or on the cushion. As you roll down, you can be rocking the head and using the feet to rock the rib cage. Get into a nice rhythm. It won't be fast, it'll be slow and steady. But as you rock both together, you're sending the message down the spine to release. And of course, when you get to any points, they're like, oh, that's a bit tight. Stay there for a moment, rock it for a bit longer. Kind of be quite tricky to do both at the same time. So you could do it twice and just do one for the head and one for the back. And just getting into that rhythm. Nice side to side rock. And as you work down the spine, you're trying to bring one vertebra down at a time. Until you've got the pelvis on the floor. So it's quite slow. Takes a bit of time, but it's so worth it. When you release out of that, you can really feel there's a lot going on. There's the shoulders letting go. There's the diaphragm letting go. There's the upper back, the top two hot plates having to really work hard to support it all to release. Okay, let's bring the arms around the side. So we're going into our T-shape, ready to do our floor twist. So we'll have one foot on the knee, push that leg over. That brings this other knee into reach of the hand, so we can just start to use it to get us like all the way around and let the head roll. Now, if you want to stretch the neck a little bit more, you could bring the hand onto the temple here. But as soon as you're in position, you've decided how far, how much you want to stretch, have a moment to feel your feet, your hands, and your face. Relax your jaw. You can sort of feel how feet, hands, and face really contributes to making poses feel safe to do. So if you ever find yourself in a yoga class where you're doing something really hard and you're like, oh, this doesn't feel right, it feels safe, obviously pull back from whatever you're doing a little bit, but also bring in feet, hands, and face and see if you can get the whole system to relax a little bit. Again, just deciding whether or not you want to use the hand on that temple. It's just a slightly stronger neck stretch. And while we're here, just feel the feet feeding in their relaxation into the legs, the hands feeding in their relaxation into the arms, the jaw letting go, feeding in that relaxation to the throat and the nape of the neck and the rest of the spine. Taking your time with it. Remember, as much as you're going for a good stretch, you're also going for a good sense of these patterns in the body. And sit on the hands for our final pose, which is the fish. Now, definitely not doing this one if you've got a bit of a trap there. Very easy to hurt yourself after all the good work we've done. So coming up, if you're doing it, relaxing the legs, feeling the feet, the hands, the face, still making this pose nice and safe. Keep the head on the floor if you're not sure. Engage the core. You can lift slightly off the floor with the core. Great. Lengthen the spine. Openness in the chest. Slide our way down. Roll the chin in. Release the arms from underneath us. That has caused any kind of stress in the shoulders and neck. After a moment of release, you can rock the head a little bit to see if you can just remind the spine to release. And as we land on the floor, ready for relaxation, we can just sort of feel the body melt into the ground. And we just want to bring in this awareness of how the feet and the hands and the face are contributing to this. So if you think of the feet, soles of the feet, the toes, top of the feet, all relaxed. And that feeling that we had up the leg as we stretch the calf, and then the hamstrings and the thighs and the hips. And if you find the lower two hot plates in the lower back, you'll feel that where the legs slot in, that's the other end of this release. That's for another lesson, the hot plates, and we will be doing them in depth in a few weeks. But if you've done it before, you'll know what I mean. Again, feeling the hands and the fingers relax and that warmth and relaxation travel up through the lower arms. Finding the top two hot plates and the shoulders orangutanging by your sides. as the relaxation comes down the arms to meet it. Again, releasing the jaw, feeling that joint go all the way through the back of the throat to the nape of the neck. And the release here comes down the neck, between the shoulder blades, and all the way to the tail. So that we can feel feet, hands, and face and release the jaw, really contributing to the ability of the body to release and let go, to relax and soften. So what's quite nice to do is as you breathe in the in-breath, be aware of feet, hands, and jaw and neck. And as you breathe out, as if it were a wind or water flowing out your awareness from the center, from the breath center to the feet, to the hands, and to the neck and jaw. Breathing in, aware of these areas, feet, hands, and face. Breathing out, sweeping the breath towards those areas, towards down the spine, towards the feet, towards the arms and the hands, and from the face down the spine. So we've got this kind of motion going, this fluidity. And it's a bit like we were washing. I always think of this a little bit like when you see people with their brooms washing the street outside their house and sluicing the water down a drain. And of course the drain's ends is the soles of the feet, the palms of the hands, and that joint there at the nape of the neck. And so we're sluicing and cleaning out any tension that we could feel with each breath. Breathing in, aware of the extremities, the feet, the hands, the jaw and the neck. And breathing out, here comes the water and just cleans it all away. And no matter how tight and tough and like a rock the tension might feel, you remember that water will eventually wear away everything. So just allowing your attention to really come to this sense of being able to break up and release and penetrate that tension with the breath. You're breathing in. And as you breathe out, letting go. We feel this flow through the body, this flow of energy, this flow of vitality. Feeling the life force energy that we breathe in begin to flow through the body, through the tightness, through the dark. Starting to feel with each out breath as well now that we're getting heavier. So we breathe in and we're aware of the flow, and we're aware of the feet, hands and face. As we breathe out, a little bit more flow, a little bit more. Life force energy flowing through us and around. And then as we breathe out, feeling it flow through us and the body become heavier, and release a little bit more. Like this, we can just keep going for as long as we like and as long as we need to, feeling perhaps for a moment every now and again all of these sensations at the same time, so we can be aware of feet, hands and face, and that flow of water and the weight of the body simultaneously. I'm just going to gently leave you there. Relax for a little bit longer.